I'm going to take it to Delaware, yes.
Yeah, but also the other question is, if you can do it in 30 seconds after you do your Delaware part, whether or not, since we have a fair number of teachers here, do you think that teachers gain or lose flexibility and power to design curriculum and adjust to the needs of the students in this process? So,
Okay. Let's start with the talking points. When you go into a Common Core website or you talk to state officials, and it's very sad that your state officials decided not to come today to actually speak to you about what they're doing to your children. That's quite unfortunate. I have, however, spoken to many state officials, and what they say often and in writing is, this isn't curriculum. Has no effect on curriculum. These are just standards. And so you have all the local autonomy you want. You can do whatever you want at the local level. And that's the talking point that you hear over and over and over again. So let's examine that. Standards that don't have curriculum behind them are not worth the paper that they're written on. If the standard is everybody has to know their times tables, and you walk into my classroom, you're going to see me teaching times tables. The federal government, through this system, is controlling the standards. And since the federal government is either funding the consortium, as you heard, or states that have their own tests must submit their state assessments to the federal government for approval before they can use them, the federal government is controlling the standards and controlling the test. Let me explain it this way. Here's a chocolate cake. Can you all see my chocolate cake? It's a wonderful cake. 3 layers, sprinkles on top. I'm a really good cook. The standard is everybody has to make a cake that tastes just like my cake and has the same texture as my cake. And the assessment is, I'm coming to taste your cake. Now you can have any recipe you want, but it better taste just like this cake. So how many recipes can there really be? Well, 1, because if you change anything, then it won't taste the same, and it won't have the same texture. So when the federal government grabbed the standards and grabbed the assessment, they also grabbed the curriculum. They followed that up with very punitive measures. Here in Delaware, and you're not different than any state, as part of your Race to the Top grant application, you had to say that you would participate in what was called a turnaround initiative, which if the schools did not measure up, if local schools did not measure up on these assessments, they would it would be one of 4 levels of turnaround. The lowest level was that the school would have to hire a new principal and replace at least 50% of the educational staff. Now, a reasonable person would wonder if these are math and reading assessments, why you would have to replace the band teacher, or the gym teacher, or the music teacher, because it's 50% of the staff.
1 minute.
The highest level says that the school can be closed, and the children then sent to other schools or charter schools. That's a huge amount of control. Teachers who are faced with, if I don't have my kids pass this test, I'm going to lose my job, lose all flexibility in the classroom, lose all ability to do what they need to do in the classroom because they want to keep their jobs. So basically what we've done is change teachers from people who interact with kids individually to assembly line workers who are there to put kids on a path to pass the test on the right time and remediate. We've basically removed from teaching the ability to teach. Everybody loses when you do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.